Lease option, bring me a treat. Today's top 10 tips, we are continuing our series, and it is to share with you how to succeed in real estate by crushing the entire awesome lease option system. I think you're gonna find this information today especially helpful. All right, these next 10 tips, 21 through 30, are dedicated towards lease option. Why? Because in 40 success strategies, 10 of them get to be on, hands down, our absolute favorite form of real estate. Why? Because it's something that is accessible to 16-year-olds. It's something that's accessible to 90-year-olds. It's not contingent on whether you got money or credit. And so we're gonna take this video and we're gonna talk about these next 10.
Awesome. So 21, what is a lease option? Now, you've probably heard the term lease option before. Maybe you've heard it in a little bit of a different way. You've probably heard of rent to own or even seller financing. Sometimes it's all built into that same type of thing and genre. But a lease option is literally a lease with the option to purchase. Now, there's some real reasons why we love this strategy. And one of the biggest things that we love is that you get to maximize your return. I mean, really, we talked about profits already, but a lease option is one of those ways where you can off table a lot of things that you don't like about real estate and really start collecting some juicy returns.
All right, number 22, we're gonna be talking about down payments versus deposits. Okay, normally when you just rent out a property and you're playing landlord, guess what? You are collecting a deposit, and a deposit means what? Someday give back. Instead, we like to collect a down payment. Now, in our lease option course, we definitely call it something different because we don't want to actually create some legal issues, but down payment is the best way to understand that when someone comes into your property, instead of first and last month's rent at best with a small deposit, you're actually collecting off in $3,000, $5,000, $7,000, or $10,000 non-refundable, and that's a high degree of commitment, which means you've got more than just a tenant in the home. And by the way, you can take that money to the bank. Imagine doing a real estate deal right now where in the next 30 or 60 days, you're collecting $5,000 or $10,000. For a lot of us that are just starting out, that's actually exciting now money.
That's pretty awesome. Okay, tip number 23. Now we're talking about repairs. This is one of the things that we love about lease options so much is the repairs are on them. See, typically as a landlord, this is one of the things that people hate about landlording is you get those calls at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. saying, hey, my toilet's broken, or hey, there's water leaking, or hey, whatever, right? This isn't the case with the lease option. The repairs are actually on the tenant or potential buyer. So you don't get those calls in the middle of the night. They actually are maintaining and taking care of the home for you. Wow, I love that part about it.
Well, and then let's go to number 24, which is no realtor fees. For just a moment, you're eventually gonna sell your property. And when you do, you're gonna have to fork out likely around 6%. Now, by the way, 6% on the average median home in America can be $10,000, it can be $15,000. So think about that for just a moment. You were about to make $45,000, but you're paying out a $15,000 realtor commission, and 45 turns into what? 30,000. You just lost, after all that time of you carrying the risk and doing the deal and all of that, you're sacrificing a third of that profit. Now, don't get me wrong, I love realtors, but I don't need them when I'm selling a lease option, and all day long, I'm gonna save that $10,000 to $15,000 because if I'm doing a lease with an option to purchase, guess what? When that person goes to buy that house, or if it's the next person that comes into the house that goes to buy it, guess what? I don't actually have to pay that realtor fee anymore.
Absolutely. Tip number 25. We're talking right now about higher cash flow. Now, I think everybody wants better cash flows, right? A lease option is one of those things that can provide it for you.
Dude, it can double.
And there's a reason why. The reason why is that these individuals are getting into a home that they otherwise would never be able to get into. They can't go to a bank right now and say, hey, will you loan me on the home? Because the bank is going to say no. And so you're getting them into a home, and they want to make this home theirs. So they're willing to pay a little bit above average market rents in order to get that opportunity to purchase this property from you.
Well, and that can turn a $200 cash flow into like $300 or $400 or $500. They often come $200 to $300 more, which can double a cash flow percentage. And by the way, over a 5-year period of time, guess what that can do to your overall profitability and safety margin?
Yep.
That's a huge increase.
Huge increase, yep.
Number 26, minimum management. Now, this is one of the best parts about lease option is because, heck, if you're gonna own real estate, do you really wanna get regular phone calls on management? Yeah. When you're a landlord, that's what you have to do, or you have to pay a property manager to do that. And a property manager will often cost you $100 a month up to $200 a month, plus repairs. But guess what here's going down? These people are saying, this is my house, here's my down payment, here's my contract. this is my home. I haven't technically bought it yet, but I've bought it on paper and I have the option to purchase it in the future, which means that all repairs fall on them. And that also is going to reflect in the management. You're not getting phone calls about a smoking alarm clock. A smoking alarm clock? What is it called, the alarm?
It's called alarm.
A fire alarm.
Smoke alarm.
Fire smoke alarm.
Smoke detector.
We're in real estate.
That's right. We do this all day long.
So smoke alarm, it's beeping. You need to come and fix it. It's like, really? Well, you don't have to take those phone calls anymore because they're going to jump in. They're going to do that management. So my favorite part about lease options is I can go literally months at a time or sometimes years without hearing from the person because they know this is my house. I'm responsible for it.
All right, tip number 27, okay? 27, this is minimum purchase price. Now, what most people don't know in real estate is that you can actually set a minimum purchase price. See, so many people go in thinking, I want to set this great, huge purchase price down the road. If I'm going to buy this lease option or this lease with an option to purchase, then I'll set that purchase price down the road at this amazing number that just looks right to me.
And no one's got a crystal ball.
Nobody
to know what
has
it's
a crystal
gonna
ball.
be.
We have no idea. And so what we want to do is actually do something that's beneficial to them as well as beneficial to us.
And by the way, we brought this to the marketplace. We innovated this, and this is amazing.
Absolutely. So we want to make sure that us as the investors, that we're protected, but we also want to make sure that they're going to have a great win as well on their side. So what we do is we set a minimum purchase price. In other words, it has to be purchased at least this minimal level. That way, if the market tanks or does something weird, we're going to be okay as the investor. If the market goes up like crazy, they're still going to be getting their equity and things that they built in the property, but we're also going to win. That's setting the minimum purchase price. It's a win-win every time.
Okay, number 28, boom, is going to be 2 contracts. In lease option, most people do a single contract. You need 2 contracts. One is for the lease, and then the second one is an addendum to the contract that actually says this is the contract that is going to enable the purchase. A lot of the other systems out there actually have everything grouped into one, and what people don't understand is that if there was ever a legal issue, someone could take it to a judge, and a judge is going to argue that that person actually has entitlement to the property, that their down payment should credit towards something. And so we've created a 2 contract system that we've been using for over a decade that has been rock star, that we haven't changed even one time, that as many times as we've used it over and over again, we've run out of things to improve on it. And so look for 2 contracts. One is for the lease, and then separate out the purchase option so that it's taking place in 2 contracts.
Awesome. Number 29, Kris, I want to do a little pantomime here, okay? You tell me what this is. You ready?
Okay. Baseball.
Nope.
Babe Ruth.
Nope.
Swing for the fence.
Nope, not
Home
quite.
run.
You're getting there.
Foul ball.
Nope.
You're not very good at baseball.
Almost. Oh, no, we're getting close.
You're really swinging slow if you think about it.
Come on, Kris.
Home run.
You
To
got
the
this.
moon.
You got this.
Go to the moon.
One more time.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a home run.
It's a 40K swing.
Oh, of course. It's a $40,000
Will
swing.
you tell them about that?
Okay, so this is my favorite part. If you're going to do a lease option versus a rental, there's on average a $40,000 gain difference. So people are often completely surprised that if you are a landlord and you rent a property, yeah, there's cash flow. Yeah, you can hold it for a while. Yeah, you can make some money on it. But when you do the lease option, boom, there's a $40,000 difference. Part of that is the down payment they give you, the increased cash flow. Part of that is the lack of realtor fees. And all of that adds up to, this is just a whole lot better than renting.
Absolutely. Okay, we're here at our last one for this video, number 30. Okay, number 30. And this is all about the sandwich lease. Now, I love the sandwich lease. I like the Dagwood sandwich lease. If we're gonna do a sandwich lease, make it a Dagwood. You know what Dagwood sandwich is, right?
No.
It's a big one, right? Remember from Blondie, the old cartoon? I'm dating myself. That's okay.
I like
the
Limitless.
Dagwood sandwich is huge, right? Everything in between, and that's what you're trying to do with a sandwich lease. You want to get into real estate that allows you to do it with no money of your own and potentially also no credit of your own. And the sandwich lease is a perfect way to do that. And what you're doing is you're earning money between the bread here. You're earning money in this spread area, right? So if you set the low purchase price and you're able to negotiate an even lower purchase price, then between that set purchase price and your lower purchase price, you've got spread. That's where you start to build this sandwich for yourself, right?
And it also means that you can go in and buy a property with no money and no credit.
Yep.
There are homes out there right now where someone is saying, hey, take this home off of my hands, and you negotiate terms where you know what purchase price you're buying it for, you know what a monthly obligation you're gonna have on the rent, and then you turn around and actually take that same house that you now control and give it to somebody else where they give you a $3, $5, $7, or $10,000 down payment, a higher cash flow, and that's what Steven's talking about. You're sandwiching that in between. And what you're doing here is you're controlling the asset. Sandwich leases is probably one of the most important creative real estate techniques that you can possibly learn that will get you out there doing real estate long before anyone says that you should. Now this really wraps up these 10 segments. We've got one more video coming your way, but I gotta pause. We have so many people asking us about lease options and how to do it. Steven and I, this is where our experience began from the very beginning. When I hired Steven to come across the country from Florida and come and work with me, it was to have him come and help me set up my real estate shop and take it to the next level. I had 25 homes at the time and wanted to turn it into hundreds of homes. Steven, that was when he made his mark at becoming an expert in this, and we really formed a powerful business partnership. And this is why it's important for you. If you are sitting there and watching this video thinking, wow, some of that went over my head, or oh my gosh, that sounds really amazing, like how do I feast on that and get in? Here's what we're offering. You can actually do real estate with the lease option with no money and no credit and start buying homes today. I don't care if you're 17 years old, I don't care if you're 25 years old, I don't care if you're 90 years old, your money and your credit situation do not have a bearing. I want to invite you to click the link up here at the top of the video or search out the link in the description of this video, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to share with you a custom game plan of how we'll not only teach you how to do the lease option, we'll not actually not just walk you through every step of it, because it is going to be about 10 days of training, about 30 minutes a day. But after that, we're going to put you into our community with all of our other big time investors where you can get all the hands-on help, ask questions, grow with our community, get weekly live calls with us, and get what you need to actually enact the lease option super successfully.
I'm going to tell you one more thing. We're actually giving you a huge bonus as well, which is part of this. You're also going to get access to our entire toolkit. And this toolkit is tremendous. Not only are you going to get the training and the access to Kris and I, and we'll answer questions, but you also get things like contracts and flyers and applications and all the paperwork that you need that we've spent tens of thousands of dollars for. We're giving that to you as well.
And some of you Canadians are going to be like, oh my gosh, can you do this in Canada, or can you do this in other parts of the world? And I'm just going to save you time from that question right now. Yes, this exists all over the world, and some of the things do need to be adapted, but it's a hands up absolute yes.